So in this part of the course, we're going to start now sketching geometries and shapes like rectangles, squares, and maybe pyramids and stuff like that, and what to think about when you do that. So we're going to start by sketching a few squares. And this totally depends on your sketching style. If you want, you can turn the paper for each line, so you always move your hand in the same direction. So like I'm doing right now. That's I guess is the easiest way to start by sketching squares. Or once you get more comfortable, you can just practice sketching lines in different directions with your hand. Thing is here, guys, I'm still, to do this, the easy way to do this is to still move your elbow and your shoulder instead of moving your wrist. If you have that problem right now that you're sketching a lot with your wrist, try to make that a priority to practice to not do that. So basically to practice to sketch with your elbow and your shoulder. So here we have a few squares. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna round the corners on these, and I'm gonna show you how I do it if I want to round the corners on these. For example, let's say I want radiuses on this. All I do is I would still sketch the full square. I would still sketch it out first on paper, just as it is right now, with sharp corners. Once that sketch is done, I'm gonna go in and just add radiuses between these two lines here. Because in the end, if you continue to sketch on this, the baselines, which are the sharp edges, are not going to be visible anymore. So you can see here, now we see a completely sharp edge here. But if we decide to make a radius here, and we define that radius more than these two lines, these lines kind of disappear and you don't think about them anymore. And this is way easier than to try and make this from the start. Start with making radiuses and stuff like that. It's just way easier to put the radiuses afterwards, once you're done, once you're happy with the original square. So that's how I make radiuses. Now let's say we want to make this in perspective, this square right here. We want to add some depth to it. So all we have to do is, first of all, figure out which way it's going to, like what viewpoint we are looking at it from. And I want us to look from it from a bit top left side, which means that we're gonna make a copy of this to visualize the depth of it, and we're gonna make a copy of this square right behind it, like this, and connect the corners just like that. And also this is a corner, an edge. So that's how you make a square in perspective. It's really simple. If you want to look from the top left view, you got to make sure that it's visible from the top right here and the left side. And these angles right here, they go to a vanishing point somewhere over here, right? Because they're in perspective. So these should be angled a bit and this should just be straight that way to this point up here. I hope that makes sense. It's I'm gonna walk you through my way of sketching perspective in another lesson, and it's a really cool way because I'm not really a fan of setting up an entire grid system just to get, you know, a sketch in perspective. Maybe I'm sketching a car. I really don't. I'm too impatient to put up an entire grid line, so I have my own system for sketching in perspective, which I think you're gonna enjoy. So I'm gonna talk about that later, and I hope this video was useful. And if you have any questions, just make sure you let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them for you.